Welcome back, and today I'm joined by one of the most iconic and illustrious and well celebrated trance producers and DJs in the world, Mr. John Askew. How are you today, John?
Yeah, I'm really good.
How's lockdown been for you?
I'm over it, to be honest. The sooner 2020 can fuck off, the better.
Now, despite touring being paused, you actually had a gig at the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah, that's correct.
How was it?
It was brilliant. I mean, like you say, it's been a long period of time without gigs, 6 months without gigs. And just to be able to drive an hour up the road and play what was essentially a really cool underground rave in the middle of a field, it was brilliant. There were probably 350 people, squares marked out on the grass, and you had to come to this event in bubbles of 6 people or less, and you were allocated a square, and you kind of had to stay within that square while you are on the dance floor. So yeah, it was brilliant. It was just nice to hear all the music that I've produced and released during lockdown on a big sound system. It was very gratifying. And I absolutely loved it. Fair play to the guys from Anomaly for being able to get a license, for being able to go through pages and pages and pages of risk assessment to get this gig up and running and done safely. It was, I take my hat off to them.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it really was.
Did you get a chance to play your new single, Smile?
No, I didn't play my new single.
Really? Sorry. So that was the first time you played out since...
It's the first time I played a gig since March. The last gig I played was the 8-hour set I did at Groove in Argentina. And I have to say, thank God that gig in Argentina did happen. It would have been mortifying if that had been cancelled. But if you are gonna go into 6 months of lockdown without gigs, you really want the last gig you play to be something as incredible and epic and game-changing, life-changing as an 8-hour set at Groove, Buenos Aires, Argentina for RPC. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, you could say in a way, I suppose, I did play a gig the other day. It wasn't really a gig, but it was full production live stream. I recorded at this warehouse in Portsmouth.
Amazing.
There's this warehouse that's between Portsmouth and Southampton that stores all the production for the likes of Swedish House Mafia, Take That, big arena tours. This is where all their kit is. So I was introduced to these guys and managed to blag my way in to go down and set up a full epic production. And then we spent a few months going back and forward on getting the visuals absolutely right. This is the stream that, as far as the 2020 lockdown is concerned, that I want to be remembered for. And I'm just working on some plans right now of how to get that out into the public domain, and it's going to be epic.
That sounds awesome. When are you broadcasting that set?
Probably early October it's going to be released.
And there's another new track of yours that I've seen you play and track list a few times on other live streams you've done. It's like a crazy track full of samples and stuff. Something about teeth.
Tooth Decay on Tuesday, I think.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's now coming out on 7 on the 2nd of November.
I love that track. It's sort of full of crazy samples. It sounds like a really drunk Sean Tyas in the middle, and then there's another message. It sounds like a really angry voice message from Simon Patterson at the end. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
So what's the story there?
Basically, whenever I'm on the road touring, or anywhere actually, whenever I have an idea, I record it into my voice recorder on my phone, or I send myself a message or whatever. And basically the long and short is my phone is packed. If there's a funny conversation going on backstage or wherever, I record it on my phone. So I had a time of going through everything on my phone, and there were folders and folders of really funny stuff, including voice messages people had left me on my answer phone or sending me voice messages on WhatsApp, etc., etc. So the Sean Tyas one was funny because I woke up, I was on tour, I woke up, I was in a hotel, and I had this voice message from Sean Tyas, and he was saying, oh man, this is so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. Please let me in. I'm stuck outside. Please, please just let me in. Now, that's a fairly normal message to be receiving from Sean Tyas at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. But the unusual thing was the fact that I was in Los Angeles and he was in New York. So I'm not really sure what was going on at his end. I'm sure he was having a lot of fun.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
And but there was no way I could let him into wherever he was in New York, and I'm not sure why he thought I could, and
Classic.
felt compelled to send me a message to ask me to do so.
Classic Tyas.
The Simon Patterson one at the end was where Simon is furiously angry with me. We were at ASOT in the Netherlands. This is going back quite a few years, and I think I played at maybe 2 o'clock in the morning, and then Simon played at 5 o'clock in the morning. He closed the main stage, and I hold my hands up. I left before his set. Cardinal sin for a manager of an artist to be at that gig, and I left. I wasn't there for his set. And he left me a very, very angry message on my phone, quite rightly too, because it was a dickish thing to do. And so I both of these messages, the one from Sean Tyas, Simon Patterson, they are both in this track, along with loads of other great stuff, recordings of conversations backstage at clubs, recording of conversations in the car with loads of guys on our way back from Dreamstate. There's really funny just crazy shit.
Man, that is so cool.
In the end, I wrote some lyrics for the track and voiced them myself. I would say sung them, but it's not sung, they're kind of spoken. And so it became Tooth Decay on Tuesday. Tuesday always being the day that your weekend comes crashing down on you.
That's such an original concept. It sort of breaks all the boundaries of kind of almost like this template that people follow in trance.
That's what I do.
Technically, would you still classify it as trance?
You know, trance as a word is quite subjective, what you think is trance. I mean, what Simon Patterson makes and what Cosmic Gate make, as far as I'm concerned, are two separate genres, and yet they both fall under the banner of trance. So what one person thinks is trance and what another person thinks is trance are entirely different things. I don't think that's a negative thing. I think it's nice to have so many sub-genres underneath the banner of trance. But, you know, for me, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to trance. My views of what trance really is are born out of the Goa and Frankfurt scenes, very different scenes, but they kind of held a similar ethos in the kind of 1993 to 1996 period. The trance that I was exposed to in that period forms the backbone framework of what I think trance is. So the more EDM side of trance, I kind of view more as EDM, but I can sort of see slight crossovers. But, you know, tracks like Sasha Expander, for me, that's what trance is. The cascading, delaying melodies. For me, that's what trance is.
So what else are you working on at the moment during this lockdown period, and what else have you got coming up?
Well, I've actually got a gig coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm playing in Helsinki with Neelix, which is unbelievable. I've got another gig, which is crazy, but I'm very much looking forward to that. I hope nothing happens in the next 2 weeks to cause some form of lockdown or shutdown to prevent that from happening, because Will Atkinson played in Croatia last weekend, and the videos from that gig looked amazing, and it made me incredibly jealous. I'm desperate to get out and play more. I mean, every DJ is, but I'm very much looking forward to this gig in Helsinki, and I hope to God it doesn't get cancelled in the next couple of weeks. So other than that, I am focused in the studio making a lot of music. I'm obviously running the record labels, Seven, Deep in Thought, and Victims Helpline. We've got a big 7 compilation album, which is coming out on the 2nd of October. That's a 4 CD compilation album, 7 Volume 2, mixed by Simon Patterson, Sean Tyas, Alex Di Stefano and Orchidea. We've also got Will Atkinson's artist album, which hopefully is going to come out end of October, beginning of November now. And that album, I'm guessing, will probably actually go on pre-order in the next week or two.
Nice.
So there's a lot of musical stuff going on, and obviously I have my own singles. My big single, Smile, with Gary Go, is out right now, and the video for that, the official video, has just been released on my YouTube channel, so check that out. I also did a chill out mix for a big Paul Oakenfold track called The World Can Wait, with Louis Fonsi, is that his name? Big pop star. That was quite cool to make something that is, you know, there's two big vocal things that I worked on that are a lot more commercial than I would traditionally do. But I think one thing that lockdown has granted me is the time and freedom to explore, you know, all kinds of different musical avenues. That's not to say that I haven't, you know, pretty much made a full album of absolute ripping, tearing 140 to 142 mayhem music. Whether that gets released as an album or whether I put it out as singles, I don't know. But I'm sort of planning on a solo volume 2. Solo volume 1 was mixed by Simon Patterson, which was out on 7 last year. Solo volume 2 I'm going to mix myself, and I'm planning on that coming out in April 2021. And that album, I am probably going to have one CD of nothing but John Askew reworks of 140 stuff, and then the second CD would be nothing but Rockets 160 BPM slammers from my alias Nothing But Rockets, my hard trance alias. So that's kind of everything that I'm working on at the moment. And then the other big thing obviously is the 8-hour live stream that I told you about, which hopefully is going to be coming out and published and put into the public domain in early October. So that's pretty much everything that's going on.
You've been putting out some sick merchandise on 7 through lockdown as well. Is that a new 7 shirt?
This is the new 7 shirt. Look, you can have a look on the back.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool actually. And we've released 7 masks as well now, which are available on the 7 store. Now that it's mandatory in so many countries to wear them in public places.
Awesome, mate. Well, I have to say thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, John Askew.
Well, it's good to talk to you. It's nice to see you again.
Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we can't wait to see you back out on the road as soon as possible. Thank you, John Askew.
Cheers.